What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/IDontWorkHereLady. This story's called Karen Tries to Get Me Fired, Then Says She Married My Gay Cousin. For a little backstory, I'm in my junior year, grade 11, and I'm taking an education course, which basically teaches you how to be a teacher. We have to have field experience or practical work. We basically get sent to a school and put into a classroom to help the teacher. It's a great way to see if teaching is right for you. Well, the classroom I'm currently stationed in is a pretty good one. I know the teacher pretty well because she was my teacher and my brother's teacher when we were young. This means she trusts me to do a lot more than other teachers probably would. Her class was having a back-to-school party, and the teacher asked if I would mind getting some sodas the night before and she would pay me back for them. The reason she asked is because she forgot them. She's old, it happens. Of course, I agree. I go to our local store and grab 3 12-packs of sodas. There are only 24 students in the class, but I wasn't sure what they liked. Plus, the teachers could just have what was left over. I decided to also get a few small gifts like candy or small toys as they were cheap. By the time I finished, my cart was pretty full, but I was obviously shopping and not working. As I'm working the till, I decide to go ahead and grab some cheap things for me to have for dinner that night as well. I stop my cart and start reaching up on the shelf to grab things. While I'm turned around, a woman starts digging around in my cart. I quickly stop her and ask, "What are you doing?" She says, "Well, aren't you stocking shelves? I'm just taking some of the candy." Now, to be fair, I was still wearing my school uniform, which is pretty similar to the store's. Both are khaki pants and blue polos, but the store shirts have the store name on the back. I decide to give her the benefit of the doubt and just say, "No, I'm shopping. I need this candy for school. Please put it back." She starts getting huffy and says, "You're wearing the uniform. Stop lying or I'll have you fired. My husband is the manager." Now I know she's lying. I know because my cousin is the manager. My cousin is married, but definitely not to her. He's gay. I say, "I know that isn't true, just give me my candy." I take it back from her and head to the till. As I'm checking out, I see her complaining to none other than my cousin. I pay and decide to let her know that I knew she was full of crap. I go and give my cousin a hug and ask him how his husband was doing. Her face went red and she hurried off. Okay, this isn't entirely relevant, but I used to be a teacher's assistant back in sophomore year, and I loved it. The kids were cool, and they thought I was cool, and the teacher was nice, and all I really did was just, grade papers and maybe help out and talk to the students every once in a while. That was fun. But anyways, regarding what actually happens in the story, how convenient that the lady claimed to be the wife of the manager, but he was gay. I don't know. That's just really lucky. This story's called The Worst Karen of All. Alright, ladies and gents, buckle down because this one is a doozy. So I did a college internship with a very popular magical theme park in Orlando this past year. Working at such a large theme park, there are hundreds and hundreds of different costumes or uniforms that span across the parks. Some of which I honestly could see how they could be mixed up with some large stores in their uniforms, aka red shirt and khakis. This did not apply to my costume, however. It was very unique, and I really don't get how this happened to this day. I worked at a huge merch location in my park. One could say it was gear-tastic. Our whole store was gear-themed, and we have working gears all around the store. That being said, our costume consisted of a red shirt that is red, blue, and yellow. It has giant gears embroidered on the front and is literally impossible to miss. Not to mention the embroidered mouse on the back. To complement this amazing shirt, our pants were high-waisted gray slacks. But when I say high-waisted, I mean those suckers went high. They made anyone who wore them look like a grandma. Now, with this company comes lots and lots of training. We are told it's perfectly fine going out in public in our costumes. We are human too. We are just told to make sure none of our company IDs are shown, and we remove our iconic name tag. That being said, I found myself grocery shopping after work from time to time. After a particularly long shift, I want to say 13 hours, I made my way to the closest Big Blue store. We all know how many Karens lurk the aisles of that store. Now amp that up by 9,000 because they are all on vacation. This particular store is very close to the theme park, so it's safe to say these people have probably been visiting our parks. It was about 11 p.m., and needless to say, the store was packed as the parks just closed. I make my rounds around the store, gather what I need, and end up at the self-checkout. This particular store is always packed, but the self-checkout was definitely the fastest. So I thought. This is where the story really gets interesting. I have a full cart and I'm just waiting in line for a checkout to open. I'm playing on my phone at this point, not knowing the crap show that is about to happen. Our lovely Karen of the evening is having issues with her self-checkout. And usually there's an employee in a blue vest that is there to help, right? Wrong. There was no employee in sight. So naturally, when her eyes landed on me, she automatically thought that I was somehow employed by this store. She yelled something like, "Hey, come help me," towards my general direction. But as I am not an employee, I didn't think she was speaking to me. I continue to play on my phone and she yells again, "Excuse me, stop sitting on your phone and do your job." At this point, I realized she was talking to me. I gave a polite, "I'm sorry ma'am, I don't work here." And boy did this set her off. This is where any normal person would think, "Oh, duh, they aren't even wearing the uniform." But not this Karen. She was in too deep. She started blowing hot air out of her nose just like the cartoons, I swear. She makes her way over to me and gets super close to my face. "You are gonna stop being lazy and you are gonna help me right now. Teenagers like you need to learn how to do their gosh darn job. It's a wonder your generation is even still alive at this point. Now, help me with this machine or I will speak to your manager." Let it be known, I am 20 and honestly look nothing like a teen. I let out another, "Ma'am, I promise you I don't work here. I'm sure someone will be around soon to help you." Throughout this whole encounter, I had to keep up the whole niceness persona, as I am repping my own company and they have a high standard for customer service. She starts going ballistic and screaming about getting a manager and how she's going to corporate about how I won't help her. She pulls a race card and I really had it at this point. Luckily for me, the woman and her family in front of me stepped in and said, "Lady, she literally works at insert theme park here. She doesn't work here. Leave her alone." Karen is full on red in the face. She spits at me and starts yelling for a manager. "Excuse me, I need a manager." Finally, a blue-vested employee comes over. He starts calming our wonderful Karen down and trying to understand what is happening. At this point, I just push my cart past the crazy lady and I start checking out. I just wanted to get home and make a corn dog. I hadn't eaten all day, and I already had to deal with crazy guests at my own job. So I was not about to be berated outside of my job too. Well, Mrs. Karen followed me to my checkout and continued to yell at our blue vest boy. "This little girl you have working here gave me attitude and I will not stand for this. I am on vacation. I am not about to let you employee treat me like this. She is only treating me like this because I'm insert race here. I want her fired immediately." At this point, she is blocking me from my items in my cart, and I just want to check out. The blue vest calls for backup and a manager comes and calms her down. Luckily, our manager friend takes Karen away from me so I can finish checking out. At this point, I just want to cry and eat my corn dog. After Karen left, I bagged up my items as fast as possible and booked it out of there. I never learned of what happened to Karen, but I hope she is satisfied. Anyways, that's the story of the craziest Karen I have ever encountered. And it wasn't even at my job, which is a Karen trap. Okay, honestly, I could never work at Disney, okay? The number of crazy people there, oh boy. As for why the Karen singled out our Redditor here, probably has something to do with her scrambling to find an employee. And so she found one, just not necessarily, an employee at that store. She just saw, "Uniform, you, bad person." This story's called I Don't Work Here Shopping Trip. Hey, I've been reading for ages, just created a name for this night that amused me. I was out for most of the day at another event and got a call from my mother. She was going out to eat with my bro, so she couldn't go shopping with me like normal. However, she said she would drop me off and pick me up, but that meant since she was having a super unlucky day, that I would have to kill 2 hours shopping. I was dropped off with my list and coupons. I decided to take as much time as I could by being as lazy as possible. However, while I was looking for some aspirin, an elderly lady kept darting her eyes at me and then looking away. She did this enough for me to say, "Do you need something, darling?" I call everyone darling, or something flattering so no one gets mad at me. The woman smiled. "Yes, where's the dental stuff?" she said. I smiled. Next aisle over, follow me. I have some time to kill so I can show you." To which the elderly lady followed me to the dental section. "Now, what did you need here? As we have mouthwash, denture stuff, toothpaste, and toothbrushes." I chimed, always happy to help. "Fix it end," said the elderly woman. "That's right here, along with several other items like Polygrip and this strange one," I said, pointing to the shelf. "Thank you. I have to let your manager know how fantastic you are. What's your name? I don't see a name tag," she said. "Thank you, darling, but I don't work here. However, if you need help, let me know," I chimed before strolling off. Shortly after, I was hit with several people asking me to get stuff off the top shelf, which I was surprised, but helped each person before I ran into this family in the soup aisle. "Where's the chicken soup?" cried the mother. "Is it up there?" I pondered as I tried to look at the stock that was stuck on the top shelf. You know, that shelf that isn't a shelf? "No, it isn't. Do you have any in the back?" she asked. "Sorry, darling. I don't work here, so I can't check. I would love to help you, but I can't," I chimed. "Oops. Oh well, I'll ask for a rain check," said the mother. She strolled away with her husband and child, but stayed in the aisle. While I was looking for soups, someone mentioned the end cap. Curious, I wandered over and saw the soup the mother wanted. So I grabbed a can and went back to the aisle. I stood on my tiptoe and called out, "I found your soup, darling." The woman's face lit up. "Thank you so much," she said, and went to get the soup. I went back to my shopping again, and once in a while helping people reach items. Not sure why they asked me, but hey, as long as they're not making a fuss and are polite, why not? I even stopped a couple of times to discuss coupons as there were some on items. Finally, in the checkout, the mother I helped before was having an entitled mother moment, which made me roll my eyes. So I started to look around and found some gummy snacks near the register for $1.09, and there was a coupon right next to it for 50 cents off. Cool, something new to try. I ended up discussing this with the woman in front of me. She wasn't interested, but a woman then went to grab some of the gummies and I told her, "Don't forget the coupon," to which she thanked me and then asked me why I, a worker, was shopping. I had to tell her I didn't work there too. When it was finally my turn, my cashier was thrilled. While I am a couponer, I am nice, and if something doesn't work, I won't push it. And a new mother was now behind me with a rather sweet boy. The mother told her son to watch me carefully as I was a professional, to which I told her about the gummies and she got them, saying she would try new things with him. Well, my total came up to the end and the woman chimed up, "Doesn't she get an employee discount?" The cashier and I stared at each other for a second before laughing. "Oh no, darling, I do not. I do not work here," I chimed. The woman looked confused. "You recommended items and even told others how to save. Plus, I seen you shopping while I was. You were helping others," she said. "Oh, I just do that. If I can help someone, it makes my day." The woman was silent but smiled. I paid and went off to wait for my mother and brother. When they showed up, my brother helped me out with my groceries. "Why did you say you had hit a snag?" asked my mother, referring to a text I sent her while I was at dinner. "Oh, some things were not there, so I had to ask about them, and some people thought I worked there, so I was helping them," I chimed. "How? You aren't even dressed like one," growled my brother. Gotta love brothers. He got upset people mistook me for an employee someplace else. Well, that was a wholesome story. However, the use of darling, I don't know, it just looks unsettling in writing. I mean, I'm sure in practice it's not weird at all, but just reading it, it's kind of weird. This story's called, "Oh, Your Security." Okay, fella. Order received and understood. I used to work as a crew member for gigs, sometimes at Wembley Stadium in London, and one particular time in 1999, we're helping the set designer with his massive set and they keep us on for a few gigs. Most load-ins for a gig, getting the stage set up, the set, lighting, sound, etc., take a few days, but because of the roof on Wembley and the fact that there was a lot of pyro on the set, it would take a week. We all have our AAA passes, getting everything ready for the load-in, ramps all set, and we get told the trucks are going to be delayed, but to not set up the barriers again for where they are parked. We get to lie around chatting crap to each other, waiting for the trucks. We say hello to the security guys and bring them cups of tea every now and then. We're all cool and just enjoying doing nothing and getting paid for it. Then there is a shift change on the security, and Robo-Security pulls up in his tricked-out car.
"Who you lot?"
he asks, and a forest of AAAs appear and are waved.
"What you doing, waiting here?"
I'm supervising the very hard work of dossing, so I say, "Alright, mates, we're just waiting for the load-in, but the trucks are delayed." He then replies,
"I'm not your mate. I'm here to look after the security for the backstage."
Like the backstage for a gig at Wembley only needs him to make it secure? Okay. We're gonna be here for a week, so I try to build bridges and the conversation goes like this. "Are you gonna park there?"
"Yeah, I'm security."
"I wouldn't park there."
"I'm parking in it, so I'm parking there. Talk to production if there's a problem."
"No worries, mate." He stomps off to protect the band, as he probably sees it. The trucks then start arriving, and as I'm supervising, I get to park them up. They arrive in 8s, as there are 38 containers coming, and they drop the trailer and the cab goes off to get another. I'm asked about the car parked in the middle of the parking area for the trailers, and I have to tell them that he's security and I've been told to take it up with production if there's an issue. An accord is reached without a word being said, and the trailers are distributed by how they are loaded in, but the first 4 all seem to be parked around RoboKnob's car. We get all the trailers set and start the night-long load-in. A lot of it is just emptying the trailers and putting the flight cases where they need to be. So it gets to 6 a.m. in the morning, and we've been going hard since 11 p.m. the night before. And lo, RoboKnob appears.
"Where's my car?"
"It's where you parked it, mate."
"How am I gonna get it?"
"Best speak to production, as we're not allowed to move them trailers now until next Monday." His bottom lip actually quivered and he walked off. We then got to see him picked up by his missus, her giving lip all the time for getting her up at this time. Good job, RoboKnob. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.